After you've successfully tested a theory as to the cause of a problem and you unequivocally know that it is the solution, next you need to think about establishing a plan of action to actually get it out there to solve the issue. Because remember that in some cases you might be using a sandboxed or virtualized environment to test the theory. Well, after that's been proven to work, you need to make sure you get that fix out there where the problem really exists. So we need to first determine how it is that we're going to roll out the fix. Now, in some cases, if it's a single user device, it's not a big deal to get a technician to either physically visit the station to solve the problem, or maybe even remote into it if a solution exists to do that. However, what if we have to roll out the solution to numerous devices? Well, in that case, we might have to think about using a centralized tool that gives us that kind of ability. We'll talk about that more in a moment. Next thing we have to consider is that if we are going to roll out the fix, whether it's to a single device or hundreds of devices, maybe even thousands, we have to consider the fact that even though in our testing environment it might not have caused a problem, the application of our fix, it might cause a problem in production. And so we should always back up data and the configuration of devices that we're applying the fix to. Now, in some cases, we won't have the ability to implement this plan of action. For example, our company might use a centralized device management tool, whether it's for mobile device management or for desktops as well. Tools like Microsoft System Center Configuration Manager, for instance. But that might be our job. So in that case, we might have to escalate the implementation of the solution that we found to that team, where they can centrally create packages for updates or for scripts that can be applied over the network to multiple devices. We then have to think about the solution scope. Now that's related to the scale. We're talking about one device here for a user or many devices? And what type of device? Are they smartphones? Are they laptops? Are they desktops? Or, of course, are they servers? Are there network devices that we need to apply the fix to if that's actually where the problem lies? That could come in the form of modifying the configuration or hardening a network device, or even applying firmware updates. So when we plan the solution implementation and put it into motion, we have to remember to back up the system. Now again, that's data and configuration. Now back to our sample problem where we've got a user that can't save new customer profiles to a custom system, we then have to consider what our plan of action will be. And that will vary widely depending on the theories we've come up with as to the problem cause and the results of our testing of those theories. So for instance, we might determine that we need to patch affected user systems, which might also update drivers. Perhaps that's part of the solution. We might even configure network traffic shaping to control network traffic congestion if that turns out to have been what the problem was. We might also implement some kind of a preventative measure, such as increasing available bandwidth so we don't run into this again. Or if the problem was just with the single user system, maybe the solution is to reconfigure the network settings on that single user system so that they get network connectivity back again. Or it could be something as simple as replacing a faulty physical network cable.